Ambassador Thomas Reed never expected to die on his first diplomatic mission. He certainly never expected to be burned alive as a form of diplomatic censure by the very council he was sent to join. The Galactic Council had extended an invitation to Earth-3 standard months ago. Humanity, having only mastered faster-than-light travel 2 decades prior, was eager to join the interstellar community. Earth's governments had selected Reed, a seasoned diplomat with experience in the most volatile human conflicts, to represent them. What no one on Earth understood was that the invitation wasn't an honor, it was a trap. Admiral James Wilson stared at the static-filled screen where Reed's final transmission had played moments before. The bridge of the UEN Vigilance fell silent as the crew processed what they had witnessed. "Play it again," Wilson ordered, his voice like gravel. The communications officer hesitated before replying. "Sir, I don't think." "Play it again." The screen flickered back to life. Reed's face appeared, sweat beading on his forehead as he spoke hurriedly. "This is Ambassador Reed broadcasting on emergency channel. The council isn't what we thought. They've been watching us, studying us. They're afraid of us. They say humans err." Reed looked over his shoulder as a door hissed open. "They're coming. Wilson, if you're receiving this, listen carefully. The council fears what they call our evolutionary aggression. They believe we're too dangerous to be allowed into the galactic community, but too dangerous to ignore. They brought me here to make an example." 6 limbed figures entered the frame, grabbing Reed. One of them noticed the transmission and reached toward the camera. "Tell Earth to prepare. They're planning to." The transmission cut off. Wilson had watched it 7 times now. Each viewing burned the images deeper into his mind. What came next had been broadcast on all channels: the public execution of Thomas Reed by ceremonial fire in the Galactic Council's Great Hall. A message to humanity. The emergency session of the United Earth Security Council lasted just 17 minutes. The vote was unanimous. "We are now at DFCON1, announced President Rivera. "All nuclear and stellar assets are to be placed on high alert. The fleet is to consolidate at defensive positions around Earth and the colonies." General Laura Bennett, Earth's highest-ranking military officer, nodded grimly. "Missile silos are being activated worldwide. The lunar defense grid is powering up. All ships are returning to defensive positions." "What about diplomatic channels?" asked the representative from the African Union. "All attempts at communication have been met with silence," replied the Secretary of State. "The Council has closed all channels." The council chambers fell silent as the implications settled over the room. Humanity stood alone against an unknown number of alien civilizations, many with technologies centuries beyond Earth's capabilities. "If they want war," President Rivera said, breaking the silence, "they'll learn why they should have feared us." On the council station, Grand Arbiter Krell watched the human military preparations with growing alarm. The 6 other council members floated in their suspension tanks around the circular chamber. "The humans are mobilizing their nuclear weaponry," the analyst reported. "All of it." "As expected," said Representative Moore, his blue-tinged skin rippling with agitation. "The psychological profile indicated they would respond with aggression." "Yet you assured us they would be cowed by the execution," Krell replied. "This response suggests otherwise." "They are primitive and emotional," insisted Representative Lax, mandibles clicking nervously. "It will soon realize the futility of resistance." Krell studied the holographic display showing Earth's rapidly mobilizing defenses. Something didn't align with their intelligence reports. The humans were organizing too efficiently, too quickly. Their nuclear arsenal, supposedly a desperate last resort, was being deployed with practiced precision. "We may have miscalculated," Krell said slowly. What the couldn't understand, was that humans had been preparing for apocalyptic scenarios for centuries. Since the Cold War, humanity had maintained detailed plans for global thermonuclear war. These plans had evolved, expanded, and been refined through centuries of paranoid preparation for extinction-level threats. When the threat finally came from the stars rather than from other humans, the response was instantaneous and coordinated. Within hours, Earth bristled with reactivated weapon systems, Mothballed missile silos hummed back to life. Orbital platforms that officially didn't exist emerged from stealth modes. The Lunar Defense Grid, a network of mass drivers capable of launching kinetic projectiles at relativistic speeds, stood ready. 3 days after Reed's execution, a massive council fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system. Admiral Wilson watched from the bridge of the Vigilance as hundreds of alien ships arranged themselves in attack formation. "Message from Earth Command, sir," the communications officer announced. "President Rivera is on the line." Wilson nodded, and the president's face appeared on screen. "Admiral, you are authorized to deliver our response." Wilson acknowledged the order and turned to his weapons officer. "Target the lead council vessel, single missile only." The officer complied, and moments later, a small, unmarked missile streaked away from the Vigilance. It detonated 1 kilometer from the council flagship, close enough to register as a threat, far enough to avoid being construed as a direct attack. "Open a channel to the council fleet," Wilson ordered. When the connection was established, Wilson spoke clearly and calmly. "This is Admiral James Wilson of Earth. You have executed our ambassador and positioned for attack against a species that has offered you no aggression. Be advised that every weapon in humanity's arsenal is now targeting your fleet and your homeworlds. We have mapped them all." Wilson paused, letting the message translate across the various alien communication systems. "You fear our aggression? You should. You fear our potential. You're right to do so. But know this: we would have been peaceful partners. We still can be. The choice is yours." In the council chamber, Krell watched the human admiral's message with a sinking feeling. The intelligence reports had indeed been catastrophically wrong. These humans weren't primitive savages to be cowed by a show of force. They were survivors, forged in the crucible of their own near extinctions. Their bluffing insisted Representative Lax. Krell studied the data flowing across his console, the human weapon systems, their distribution, their yield calculations. "No," Krell said firmly, "they are not." When the council voted minutes later, it was unanimous for the first time in 7 centuries. The motion: immediate peace negotiations with humanity. Humanity would join the galactic community after all, not as supplicants but as equals. And the council would learn that burning one human alive had nearly ignited a fire they could never have extinguished.